Charles Leclerc has once again stolen the attention of the Formula One world. With his aggressive and reckless driving style, he managed to control his SF-25 in a way that left many people in awe, including the legend himself, Lewis Hamilton. In a tense duel, Leclerc showed his fangs and forced Hamilton to acknowledge the extraordinary ability of the young Ferrari racer. Is this a sign that a new era of Leclerc dominance in F1 has begun? Let's discuss. When Lewis Hamilton officially joined Ferrari, many predicted that the seven-time world champion would immediately become the main leader in Maranello. However, what happened at the start of the 2025 Formula One season was very different from expectations. Even seasoned observers were left speechless. It wasn't Hamilton who stole the show, it was Charles Leclerc. The Monégasque is currently the benchmark at Ferrari. In the run-up to the Saudi Grand Prix, Hamilton finally admitted that he is still far behind in taming the notoriously stubborn SF-25 car. But it is not just about the final result of the race. It's about driving style, adaptability, and an instinct for extracting performance from a car that is notoriously difficult to control. The SF-25 is not an easy car to master. It's hypersensitive to driver input. It punishes the slightest hesitation and rewards only the highest levels of precision. But it's in this instability that Leclerc finds himself. Leclerc's driving style is almost manic, almost reckless. He embraces oversteer, almost relishes it. Where others, including Hamilton, prefer stability, Leclerc walks the fine line between speed and loss of control. He balances the car while launching wildly with the rear, a high-risk approach that has proven perfect for the SF-25. Lewis Hamilton, the seven-time world champion who has conquered the rigors of Formula One for more than 2 decades, freely admits that he still can't tame the SF-25 as efficiently and smoothly as his new teammate, Charles Leclerc. In an interview that has captured the attention of many F1 fans and observers, Hamilton revealed that he has watched Leclerc's onboard footage over and over again, trying to understand every detail, from steering inputs to braking points, in order to uncover the secret behind the Monégasque's incredible performance. And the result? Hamilton was amazed. Behind the scenes, Hamilton continued to experiment. He tried different combinations of settings, from ride height and differential settings to complex parameters such as brake migration. But while Hamilton was still searching, Leclerc seemed to have found the car's sweet spot earlier. Not only that, but Leclerc was able to maintain his consistency from session to session, especially in crucial moments such as qualifying, where precision and confidence are everything. The climax came at the Bahrain GP, when Leclerc managed to beat Hamilton in qualifying by a surprising margin of 0.6 seconds. In the modern F1 era, such a gap between two elite drivers in the same car is not just a number. It is a warning signal, a sign of an imbalance that cannot be ignored. And for Hamilton, accustomed to being at the top, it was a reminder that the biggest challenges could come from within his own team. What made things even more complicated for Hamilton was not just the technical differences or the performance of the cars, but something more subtle but powerful: the non-technical factors. The Saudi Grand Prix was a historic milestone for Charles Leclerc, his 131st race with Ferrari. The number not only places him in the elite pantheon of Ferrari drivers, alongside legendary names such as Michael Schumacher, Kimi Räikkönen and Felipe Massa, but also symbolizes the deep bond he has forged with the team. Leclerc's closeness to Ferrari cannot be measured in statistics alone. He has become part of the pulse of the team, a driver who knows not only how to drive a car, but also the soul of Ferrari. His knowledge of how the team works under pressure, how the engineers and technicians react to changing weather, setups and weekend dramas, and where to push or hold back, has become an invisible but crucial weapon. Hamilton, on the other hand, despite the reputation of 7 world titles and the aura of a great champion, is still in the early stages of adaptation. He is learning the internal language of Ferrari, trying to absorb a culture that is very different from Mercedes. And while he is still finding his rhythm, Leclerc is already dancing to the tune he helped create. Picture this: after more than a decade with Mercedes' A-team that has been his home, his laboratory, and his battleground, Lewis Hamilton is entering a whole new world with Ferrari. Not just a change of uniform or garage, but an entire racing philosophy that has become ingrained in him like DNA. For more than 10 years, he had grown accustomed to Mercedes' technical approach, from the braking system, to the characteristics of the software, to the way the car reacted in every corner. Now everything has changed. From the braking system, which used to be Carbon Industries and is now Brembo, to the feel of the engine braking, which is completely different. It's not just about the technology, it's about the feel, about how the car speaks through vibrations and sounds, about how the instincts of a world champion interpret microsignals in a fraction of a second. It's not just about changing cars. It's like being forced to write with your left hand after a lifetime of using your right, or being asked to speak a new language in a crowd, under pressure, in front of millions of eyes. And most strikingly, in the midst of it all, Hamilton no longer insists that the car follow him. Once, the car may have had to learn Hamilton's language. But now it is he who has decided to humble himself, turn over a new leaf, and adapt to the SF25. He even admitted, without hesitation, that one last weekend of racing had taught him more than all the pre-season testing. It is an honest admission, and also a reflection of a true champion, that in times of great change, humility and a willingness to adapt are the sharpest weapons. The Jeddah circuit in Saudi Arabia is the setting for the next big test. A fast track with flowing corners, tight walls and super-smooth asphalt will eliminate many of the variables that previously obscured the car's true performance. There is no room for error here. Confidence at the wheel is the only currency. Leclerc has proven that he can push the SF25 to its absolute limit. His speed is not only consistent, it looks effortless, the sign of a driver who has become one with his car. However, this is also the time when we really see Lewis Hamilton, not only in terms of lap times, but also from a psychological perspective. Then the internal dynamics of Ferrari could change drastically. Because in Formula One, the biggest battles are often fought not in the corners, but in the mind. Ferrari did not sign Lewis Hamilton out of nostalgia or romanticism for the past. They didn't just want an icon, they wanted a world champion. A trophy that had eluded Maranello for a long time and that had now become an obsession and an absolute goal. Until the first half of the 2025 season, however, it was Charles Leclerc who shone. Not only was he ahead in the standings, but he also exuded a strong aura of leadership, both from his results on the track, the way he communicated with the team, the technical approach each weekend, and the way he built his influence behind the scenes. Leclerc is no longer just Ferrari's golden boy. He has become the center of gravity of the team. The SF25 car seems more in tune with his driving style, and the entire Ferrari environment seems to follow the rhythm he sets. Hamilton, despite arriving with 7 world titles and invaluable experience, still seems to be in the process of adapting, trying to understand the car, the crew, and the Ferrari working system, which is very different from what he experienced with Mercedes for years. Can Lewis Hamilton turn things around? Will his dedication and hard work behind the scenes, the hours in the simulator, the in-depth technical discussions, the strategic approach to every practice session pay off? Because if the answer is yes, if Hamilton can find his balance and begin to match or surpass Leclerc, then the F1 world is about to witness one of the most epic internal duels in Scuderia Ferrari history. This is no longer about who is faster on the track. This is a power struggle. A battle for control of the SF25, the car that could put Ferrari back on top of the world. And throughout the long history of Formula One, one important lesson has always been clear. Never underestimate Lewis Hamilton when he starts to find his rhythm. Because when that happens, it's not just his opponents on the track who have to be wary, it's his own teammates too. Is Leclerc now a true pillar of Ferrari? Or is Hamilton on the verge of a classic comeback? Let us know in the comments.